For today's lesson, we'll be learning the Hifil prefix. This lesson goes with Kittel and Hoffer, lesson 32. Let's start just by looking at the Hifil prefix in the third masculine singular of our strong root kod. It looks like this, yaf-kid. Notice the hirek yod, which is infixed between the second and third root radicals, as well as this patach under the prefix, which we have seen is also the characteristic vowel in the imperative. So the Hifil prefix yaf-kid. Remember that the cow prefix is yif-kod with a hirek and a holem vav. So yaf-kid in the Hifil, yif-kod in the cow, and then in the PL, of course, yafaked with this shva, as well as the doubled middle radical. So yaf-kid, Hifil, yif-kod, cow, yafaked, PL. Each of these is pretty distinct from the other if you just pay attention to the characteristic vowels. Okay, now let's look at the full paradigm of the Hifil. So as we've just seen in the third masculine singular, yaf-kid, here we have our patach as well as our infixed hirek yod. Third feminine singular, then just as you would expect, taf-kid. In the second masculine singular, also taf-kid. Notice that the prefixes are the same as they were for the cow and for the PL. It's just the vowel pattern is different, and it's just following the vowel pattern of the third masculine singular. So yaf-kid, taf-kid, taf-kid. Of course, second feminine singular, we're going to have both a performative and also the prefix as well as the prefix complement, so taf-kidi, and then for the first common singular, af-kid. In the plural, yaf-kidu, taf-kedna. Notice that our hirek yod is reduced here. Taf-kidu, taf-kedna, and then naf-kid. So in all of these forms, we have the hirek yod, except for the third feminine and second feminine plural, in which case, when we add that na ending, we lose the hirek yod. So this is the Hifil prefix. Yaf-kid, taf-kid, taf-kid, taf-kidi, af-kid. Yaf-kidu, taf-kedna, taf-kidu, taf-kedna, naf-kid. Alright, so now we can look at our vav conversive forms. So that was prefix. This is prefix vav conversive. Prefix vav conversive is vayaf-ked. Notice that the only difference here is that our hirek yod has become a tzere. So in the prefix yaf-ked, vav conversive, vayaf-ked. So vataf-ked, vataf-ked, vataf-kedi. Notice when we add the prefix complement that our hirek yod returns in the middle. This is because of this vowel added in the prefix complement. So vayafked, vatafked, vatafked, vatafkidi, vaafked. Vayafkidu, vatafkedna, vatafkidu, vatafkedna, vanafked. Notice that in all of the forms that have a prefix complement that begins with a vowel, the hirek yod is restored. So vatafkidi, vayafkidu, and vatafkidu. So let's look at our sentence for this lesson, which is actually quite straightforward. First, let's pronounce. Vayaged Moshe et divrei ha'am el Adonai. Vayaged Moshe et divrei ha'am el Adonai. The only really word here that requires any work is the verb vayaged. So let's look at how we parse vayaged. First thing is special feature. Here we have a vav, a patach, and a double. So clearly we are in the realm of vav conversive. Knowing that, we know that this yod is our prefix. So we are in the prefix form. And we know that a yod prefix without a prefix complement at the end of the word is indicating third masculine singular. Now we've explained our vav and our yod, so we only have two root letters left. The other thing we can tell already at this point is what the stem is. Here you have a prefix with a patach under it. This is the marker of the Hifel. The only question remaining is the root. Of course, we only have two root letters left, but we have a dagesh in this gimel, and that is the indicator of an assimilated nun. So our root here is nagad. So this is Hifel prefix, third masculine singular vav conversive of nagad, which means he announced, or and he announced. Now I think from this point that you should be able to translate the verse. Vayaged Moshe et divrei ha'am el Adonai. And Moses announced the words of the people to the Lord. All right, now there's a couple things of the Hifel that could be confusing, and in particular the Hifel of the first guttural and how we distinguish it from a kal. So let's start with our kal prefix of amad, to stand. If we just follow our kal prefix rules, for the strong root we would have yifkod. So for this root we would have yi'amod. Now here we have a problem because we have a hirek, which is next to a patach shva, and as you know, that hirek does not like to be there next to that particular vowel. So in fact, instead of yi'amod, the kal prefix is ya'amod. Notice that here we have a prefix with a patach under it, which we have just learned is the indicator of the Hifel. But in fact, it is also the vowel of the kal in the first guttural, because gutturals prefer a patach-rich environment. Now if we look at the Hifel prefix of the same root, it will be ya'amid. This is simply standard, like yafkid. And notice here you have the Hifel patach under the prefix. So these two look the same in the prefix, the vowel under the prefix, but they are distinct from each other because of these vowels. So ya'amod, like yifkod, is kal. Ya'amid, like yafkid, is Hifel. Now if we look at the prefix vav conversive, then vaya'amod in the kal, and vaya'amed in the Hifel. Here again you have the same vowel under the prefix, but you have a colon here, like vayifkod, and you have a tzere here, vaya'amed. It is in the vav conversive, of course, that hirek yod retracts to a tzere, but it's still E-class. So vaya'amod, vaya'amed. So for most first gutturals, simply a matter of making sure you pay attention. Don't simply look at the vowel under the prefix and decide it's Hifel, but also look at the vowel between the second and third radicals. Now, of course, there are more complicated cases. So let's look at the kal prefix of ra'ah. If you remember, the kal prefix of ra'ah is yir'eh. Here we have the hirek of the kal prefix. And here we have, instead of an O-class vowel, we have an E-class vowel. This is because it's a third hey. Yireh, like yivneh, which is our paradigmatic third hey. So yireh, like yivneh. And the Hifel prefix, ra'ah, is simply yar'eh. So here again, you have the E-class vowel because of the third hey, and the distinction is the prefix vowel, which here is the patach of the Hifel. So kal prefix yireh, Hifel prefix yareh. So far, nothing that should trip you up. However, if we put this verb in the vav conversive form, then we get vayar. Remember that in the Cal, third hays typically lose their hay in the prefix. So instead of yivneh, we get vayivin. In the case of ra'ah, we get vayar, and this vowel becomes a patach because the resh now is drawing an A-class vowel. This looks exactly like the hifil prefix of ra'ah, vayar, again with this patach. So, when you see the word vayar, you cannot tell whether it is cal prefix or hifil prefix in the third masculine singular and other forms. So, you simply have to look at what it means in the sentence. Vayar means to see in the cal and to show, to cause to see in the hifil. Note that this problem only pertains in the vav conversive for this root. One last case is the root Allah, Ayin Lam and Hey. Notice that this is both a first guttural and the third Hey. So if we form the cal prefix, if we just form it on analogy with yivneh, we would have yi'aleh. Notice again we have hirek, which is next to a composite patach shva, and this causes that hirek to resolve sympathetically to an patach. So we get ya'aleh. This happens to be exactly the same form as the hifil prefix, ya'aleh. That patach there is the hifil characteristic vowel of the hifil, ya'aleh. So we get the patach in two different ways, but the forms look exactly the same, ya'aleh. So if you see ya'aleh or ta'aleh and so on, you can't tell without context whether it is cal or hifil. Of course, Allah in the cal means to go up, and Allah in the hifil means to send up or to take up. Same is true. Notice that both have the E-class vowel here because of the hey. This is also true in the vav conversive. We lose our hey and we get vaya'al, but also in the hifil we lose our hey and get vaya'al. So cal and hifil prefix of Allah, first guttural, third hey, exactly the same in both the prefix and the prefix vav conversive. All right, that's enough for today. So do your assignments, and we'll see you in class next time.